sous chef for $4 on the
Nobody
water.
cares about it, but you still can't show it.
Now you're live.
Oh shit.
Hey yo!
Hey yo.
Welcome to VK Punk Wrestling, soon to be recognized as your #1 source of all pro wrestling and sports entertainment news, updates, media, and all-around fun and entertainment. Like today, where we will be going through this week's main roster WWE shows. That means no AEW, no NXT, just Raw and SmackDown, the storylines, our opinions, what we think. We are your host. I'm Vince C. Punk.
I'm KC Punk.
Casper the Ghost, baby.
And this is another video prior to our official launch. Next Saturday, October 5th, for Bad Blood, we are going to be doing a live watch-along. So, being that is a pre-launch video, we are just having some fun. We're having a couple of drinks. We're just having a good time and going with the flow to try to get out there and get noticed and pre-test all of our stuff. We are going to have many more videos like this one. Review videos, preview videos, prediction videos with a channel champion with a custom belt that we're having made by our sponsor, Capco Championship Belts.
It's alright, keep going.
So next Saturday, October 5th, we will be doing a live watch along for Bad Blood. We're just going to be having fun tonight. Let us in.
Can we cut? Can we cut? Let's redo that. Where's the title at?
We don't have the actual title that
We don't have.
being made
Yeah,
yet.
it's being made.
But you got the title that the same guy made, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we have a
We're
couple
live,
of them,
though.
yeah.
That's okay, man. It's okay. Just have fun, dude. Sorry, guys. We are still going through stuff, still learning our setup, and
Technical difficulties.
still learning how to converse with the cameras and the microphones. We're still getting our stuff
Branching it
together.
out, man. We're working it
And
out.
like I said, we're all having a little fun tonight because this is all pre-launch stuff. Okay.
Because nothing goes better than live broadcasting and alcohol.
You know.
So this week in wrestling, one of the big main points to go through is Jey Uso wins his first singles champion,
Yeet.
beating Braun
Yeet is
Breaker
right.
for the Intercontinental Championship. It's a big point of, conversation. There's a lot of stuff.
I'm so happy. Jay fucking deserves it. He's my baby. I love him.
14 years, man.
Yeah.
14 years.
Greatest tag team champ ever. Never had a singles title.
And he
And he
fights.
finally did it.
He fights for it, and he finally got it. I am so happy.
It's that Simone bloodline stuff, though. That's what they do.
Yeah.
I think Jey Uso's come a long way. He's come a long way since the tag team, and even though they were the best tag team, Jey Uso seems to be progressing very highly at a very rapid rate. He's got the crowd behind him. He's got the universe behind him.
Right.
Everybody's
because he
eating all over
He
the
came
place.
into his own, and he's standing on his own finally, and he's got it. He's getting it.
He
He's got it.
got from underneath the shadow of Roman Reigns. That's
Exactly. And he stood his own ground, and that's what exactly happened. It took a little bit of time, but he got it.
So the odd thing about all this is that Braun Breaker, who is a very strong character,
23 miles.
very
Can run 23 miles an hour in the ring.
Boom,
Yeah,
boom,
off the
boom,
ropes.
boom.
He's a very strong, a very dominant character.
Played college ball. Almost went to the NFL.
Yeah, has 2 losses, one to Sami Zayn,
Yeah.
and now this one to Jey Uso. Now he's only had the Intercontinental Championship for a very short run.
For like a week.
It's been
51 days.
Yeah, it's
well.
a very short run.
51 days.
So now, how do we feel? I mean, even though everybody is so excited about Jay and everybody thinks that Jay deserves it, how do we feel about cutting Braun Breaker's title run as his character is being portrayed so short?
Well, I think he's gonna be more evil and more sadistic than he already is.
I thought he was going to win, but I'm glad they gave Jay his flowers.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I didn't think they would take the title off of Braun Breaker. Not that I don't think Jay deserves it or Jay's good enough, but I think it was a little early to really take the title
Yeah.
off. If you were gonna take the title off Braun with Jay, that's fine. But doing it like Survivor Series,
Something, especially since he's supposed to be like this new
right? Let him.
incarnate version of,
Brock Lesnar.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh shit.
like just let him run through the whole roster. Let him run through everybody. You know, you got Braun Breaker, Braun Strowman, or I'm sorry, not Braun Breaker.
Right.
Bronson Reed, Braun Strowman, The Miz.
Those would be great.
All of these
feuds.
people are
But
trying
they already
to get.
are feuds.
Not with Braun Breaker.
Not with Braun Breaker.
Saying you
At
put
for
Braun
the
Breaker up
Intercontinental
against these
Championship
monsters.
No, I mean the other guys.
Yeah, they're all feuding with each other right now,
Right.
but this all started with a tournament for the IC Championship belt that Jay won. Now, if you take any of those guys who started in the tournament and put them against Braun Breaker for the next few months, or just put them against Braun Breaker one after the other for the next few months, and just let him destroy them all until he gets to Jay at like Survivor Series in November, and then have Jay beat him there after he's already beaten all these guys, because now he's got like
Yeah.
he's only got like 2 title defenses and he lost in his 2nd title defense. It's not like Jay became his 10th title defense after he's beaten a litany of people.
Yeah, it was a
Jay's
short
beat him.
run.
I think
51 days isn't nothing.
if
Right,
you wanted
it is a
Braun,
short run.
Braun Breaker should have looked stronger in this situation before he,
Well, they
looked
must-
up at the lights for
They
Jay.
must have some sort of plan for it, right?
Right.
I mean, eventually. But I've also read and heard something possibly that it's going to be a short title reign for Jey Uso. So.
It probably is, but I think it's gonna go back and forth and back and forth. Like maybe between 3 or 4 guys.
Or
I mean, it could
or
be.
they can just build a feud between Jey Uso and, homeboy. The dude we're talking about.
Jey Uso and Braun Breaker?
Yeah, Braun
Yeah.
Breaker. Braun. Sorry.
Yeah, Braun Breaker.
Okay, so my problem with all this is that we just had the record-breaking Intercontinental Championship run from Gunther. He held it longer than anybody else has ever held it, right?
Which is
So-
why he will not let anybody else take his other title, or is it the
Right.
same title?
Well, that's a whole nother story that we'll get into. But it's because Sami Zayn took that title from Gunther, and now Sami Zayn is trying to take the other title from him.
Okay, alright.
But Sami Zayn didn't hold, like, after you had this record-breaking run, and you're trying to bring the prestige back to the title, you had this guy hold it for longer than anybody else has held it, like
I don't think
666
Sammy's
days.
gonna
Sammy beats him, and he barely holds on to it to give it up to Breaker. Now Breaker has a short run, and he
Right.
barely holds it to give it up to Jay.
Right.
All that prestige that you tried to establish by
With
having
Gunther,
Gunther,
hold it for so long, so who's
it
gonna take
seems
it?
like
It's been passed around like a dirty horse.
Right, since Gunther had it, right. So, where's it going from here? Prediction, please. Prediction, please. Prediction, please.
I mean, he says that he's heard stuff about. I haven't listened to the news much this week because I was falling behind, so I haven't
I just,
really listened to any of my channels this week.
I give Jay maybe a 2-month run with this title.
So you think he loses it at Survivor Series?
So I can see that.
Well, me being a novice, I don't know, like, the procession of the different events that go on. I know that Bad Blood is coming up on the 5th of October, right? Did I say that right?
Yes, next Saturday, a week from tonight.
Right, and I know they have a lot of events for different, like, title exchanges, maybe, which I think maybe the titles there will exchange. But that doesn't necessarily mean that these titles, right? Because it goes. I think I'm.
I mean, the Intercontinental Champion. It's hard to say where that's going from here because it just changed hands and nobody's really certain.
It doesn't matter 'cause we're just eating right now. So
Yeah,
that's all that matters.
as far-
I'm just
as
glad
far
he
as,
got
like-
the title.
As far as like Cody's title, I possibly see him. Okay, so the rumor is that for War Games, it's gonna be
Yeah.
the Bloodline versus the Bloodline, new Bloodline versus the OG Bloodline. So we're gonna have, Solo, the Tongans, Jacob Fatu, and maybe their brother Hikuleo. Somebody else has got to come in and join their side, I think, to make it a
Yeah,
proper
that's
War
pretty
Games
fine.
match.
And then who else is it gonna be?
So-
Roman and Cody and
Well, that's what I mean.
KO
Cody's
and
not gonna be. Nah, it's gonna
Randy,
be.
and then who else though?
It's gonna be
No, it's gonna be
Roman, the Usos,
Sami
So
Zayn.
you
Sami
think-
Zayn,
You think that's what's gonna happen?
and they
And
signed.
Cody
and
Rhodes
they
is gonna
signed
be the fifth
Zillafah too, apparently. So
Yeah, no, that's a rumor. Nobody
Is that
knows
a different
for
plot?
certain.
A different
Yeah,
plot
it's a
too?
different Samoan. Yeah, Samoan Dynasty.
He's Umaga, so.
But he's the most green. What happened was Zillafar 2 was booked for, I think, GCW event, and GCW launched an announcement that said Zillafar 2 will not be at this event, and everybody just assumed it was because he signed for WWE and WWE, but the truth is that Zillafar 2 is hard to work with, and he had some disagreements and some uneasiness with the booker owner of GCW or somebody along that line.
Well, I would imagine that any of those fucking bloodline assholes are hard to work with.
Yeah, but, I mean, on a
Just
professional
saying.
level.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe. I mean,
So anyway,
It's a whole
so
dynasty
what happened
of,
was he had beef with the booker or the.
You need to speak up.
I need to speak up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm just sitting here enjoying you guys' stuff.
Well, I mean, I'm enjoying the conversation too. Go ahead, baby.
Now we're trying to read the letter.
Oh my god, I want to lose this.
It's not easy to read.
So the way you guys are talking to each other, not the camera,
Oh,
like
Jesus.
these mics
It's hard,
aren't
yeah.
right. We need to go with Pel mics.
Okay.
So that way we'll have one
Well,
right
that's
here.
why.
so
That's
you can-
why we are gonna
whatever
have
you're
a better
doing,
mic
you can-
setup.
Okay, we
Um,
can. I'm talking to these guys. I'm not
Our producer
Yeah, I
is
know.
just off a camera and giving us some advice, guys.
Gotta make it
Forgot.
better.
We're still live. Hi,
We're st-
people. Hi, YouTube.
Well, I mean,
viewers.
it says we're live, but you know, we're just having fun. It's past midnight at this point, or no, it's 5 minutes to midnight at this point, ladies and gentlemen. And once again, this is just a run through of how things will go.
We're just shit
That sounds
talking
like an
about what we
album title.
think.
We're gonna have a totally
Sounds
different
like what?
setup.
Album title, 5 minutes of midnight.
5 minutes to midnight, yeah. Okay, so I think Cody Rhodes is going to be part of that match, so I don't think his title is going to be in jeopardy at Survivor Series because he's actually going to be part of the War Games match. That's just, I don't know that. That's just what I'm assuming
I
because they're
need
going
a
to need a fifth
list.
guy. They're going to need a fifth guy, and with Cody doing the temporary thing with Roman, I think that's going to last and put on a little bit longer because Roman's kind of doing this one thing for Cody, and he gave Cody his word and said, you know, Cody was like,
Right,
I
and
need
then
your word
and then
that you're
Roman
gonna have
said,
my back.
"I'm gonna
Right.
take what's mine after this bullshit." So
Right, until now all this stuff with the bloodline comes up, and Roman needs a fifth man, and he says, hey, you remember when you called in that favor to me, now I'm calling in a favor to you, I need you to be part of.
Was it really
Our
calling in?
War Games
Was it
match.
really calling in a favor?
I don't know, because in the beginning I thought Cody was the one who
Weird.
didn't want the match, and
that's what it made it seem like. That's what they made it seem like.
Roman was actually the first one to sign it, and Cody signed it afterwards, which was kind of weird.
After laying the smackdown on their candy asses.
Yeah.
That was a good ass show.
See, what I'm gonna need like a succession or a list of every match and how it goes like every year because I don't know when War Games is.
No.
I mean, I know when
You
SummerSlam
mean-
is. I know when WrestleMania is. I don't know all this other.
It's January.
January is the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania is in April, SummerSlam is in August, and Survivor Series is in November.
But there's a whole bunch of other like mini. Like,
Yeah,
Every month
B-level
there-
pay-per-views, yeah.
Like, okay, so I need a list of how it
Yeah.
happens every year because I've only been watching for about a year.
So their four staple
Year and a
shows.
half.
Their four staple shows are WrestleMania,
WrestleMania,
Royal Rumble, Survivor Series,
right?
and
And SummerSlam.
SummerSlam.
Okay, but I don't know everything that goes between.
Well,
those
everything
things.
that goes between
And,
them
that-
isn't
and
the same
money,
every
and
year.
Money in the Bank is the staple show.
And Money in the Bank
And hopefully they do this King of the Ring thing every
and
year.
King of Rings. So I need
Yeah, but
I need like a timeline of this goes every single year, even variations
okay,
of.
so we gave you like Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank. Most of the time, Elimination Chamber is
Oh,
every
yeah,
year, but
Elimination
it's never
Chamber.
the same time every year. Elimination Chamber has been before WrestleMania. It's been after
No,
WrestleMania.
it's always been in between. It's always been in between WrestleMania.
Well, the Money in the Bank started out at WrestleMania, and now it's its own show.
Right. And it did start at WrestleMania and it became its own show. But Elimination Chamber, the first one was its own pay-per-view.
Mhm.
And then, yeah. But yeah, what happened?
Oh no, like they didn't do King of the Ring for years though.
Yeah.
Like they hadn't had it for years. They only like restarted it 2 years ago.
Elimination Chamber is always before WrestleMania. I mean, it's just like that.
And that's
All right,
one
so
where
Money in the Bank is the one that's after WrestleMania. I know one of them is before and one of them is after.
you guys are supposed to know the shit.
Money in the Bank's after WrestleMania.
I never know for certain. Oh, you got to be right because the people who cash in at WrestleMania the
Yeah.
next year, it's only good for a year. So yeah, you're right.
Money in the Bank's after. Elimination Chamber.
I mean, I can do my own research. That's
It's-
fine. I'll
well,
do
I
it.
mean,
I'll do it.
The
technically-
calendar does change every year
technically
except for those 4 or
Fastlane.
5 big shows.
The Fastlane. Don't forget about that. Sometimes they done that in between. You have Elimination Chamber, then you have Fastlane, then you have WrestleMania.
And now after WrestleMania, they do Backlash all the time for WrestleMania
But
and Backlash.
Backlash is always.
But Backlash was an absentee pay-per-view for a number of years too. Like they haven't done Backlash every year.
Sure about that?
I'm positive they took it away and then they brought it back.
I mean, I can't remember the last time there wasn't a WrestleMania Backlash.
It's probably been at least 7 years, but I'm saying there was a time because it started out in like 02 or something, way in the early aughts, and then they took it away for a little while.
Backlash was always after WrestleMania, even during the Attitude Era.
Yeah, I know. But I'm not saying that it wasn't, but there was a certain amount of time where they didn't have Backlash, and then when they brought it back, it was WrestleMania Backlash, and then it just became Backlash again.
All
So
right.
anyway,
well,
we'll-
yeah. Anyway.
we will get with you with the shows.
Yes,
I mean, of
thank
course,
you.
you'll know about
Right.
them.
Like,
Right.
there's
okay,
a whole bunch.
for example,
Hell in a Cell.
Bad Blood hasn't existed in forever.
I heard. I'm to the understanding that it's been quite a while since they had Bad Blood.
Yeah, Bad Blood hasn't been since
And it's
the
been quite a-
mid to early aughts. It
I
was
don't know what odds means.
the 2000s.
2000.
Okay, and it's to my understanding too that it's been quite some time that they put somebody in a shark cage,
Enzo Amore was the last person to go into a shark cage.
and now they're putting Dirty Dom in
I
it.
remember that.
Yeah.
Like the other parts of the Judgment Day won't.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's like nobody can f with us. Yeah, the rest of the Judgment Day can fuck with them.
Okay.
I mean, there'll be
So that brings
interference,
us-
no doubt.
That brings us to the opening of Raw this week. This this week in Raw opens with Liv and Dom coming down to the ring to do a cold open. Liv tells Dom to do a victory lap. He starts to do his victory lap when, of course, Rhea Ripley interrupts and comes down to the ring.
Right.
Okay, they recap what happened on last week's show in a video package. And then Rhea gets up into the ring with them and starts talking about them. And the big points to take out of this is that Rhea is cleared to wrestle,
Right.
and that she has taken Dominic out of the equation in the Bad Blood match with
So
Liv.
that her and Liv can fucking fight
But you still have to-
uninterrupted or
that's how the rest of the
uninterrupted.
Judgment Day.
That's what I'm saying.
By putting him in a shark cage. Now, did you see Dominic's reaction?
It's like, you can't do that. You can't put me back
Yeah, I
there.
can't go back.
I can't go
'cause
back. I can't
No,
go
Because
back.
Rhea's like, you're gonna get put exactly where you belong, behind bars. And he's like, I can't go back. I can't go back.
He did a hard time.
Yeah, he did such hard time.
What?
Doubtful.
24 hours.
What a reaction. What a reaction. Dominic is so good. And I mean, you don't have to like him or his character, but he is good at his portrayal of that character.
Dude, the
Yeah.
mullet and the mustache kills me, bro.
And he's trying to be Eddie Guerrero.
I'm pretty sure that's Eddie Guerrero's kid. I'm just saying. Somebody gotta say it.
Allegedly.
Allegedly,
Somebody gotta
wasn't that
say
a
it.
big thing? Like, before?
I'm
Yeah, because
between Rey
in
Mysterio
yeah,
and
WCW there was
Okay.
I'm pretty pretty sure.
match.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't want to see that steady shit. I don't think that's ready shit. Come on, Ray's like 4 foot. Dominic, like
This was
anytime.
before my time, so I don't know. I'm just going off like documentaries and what this guy's.
There
told
was
me.
like on a pole match where
Yeah.
or a ladder match where what was up for grabs was the custody of Dominic between Rey Mysterio and
Yeah,
Eddie
that's
Guerrero.
what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, so
Really.
whoever won a wrestling match got custody of his kid. Wow.
Yeah, I remember
How
that.
traumatic.
That was horrible.
It was bad booking.
That was
WCW,
so
that
bad.
was in WCW's bad era.
So bad.
Okay, so Rhea announces that she's talked to Pierce, and Pierce has agreed
Fight.
to put Dominic in
in
a
the
shark
tank
cage,
or shark
and
cage.
to take him out of the equation, which, like you said, Liv still has the rest of the Judgment Day on her side to interfere with the match. Why
okay,
does it
so-
matter if Dom's in a shark cage? Put the whole Judgment Day in the shark cage.
But Rhea has
Yeah,
Jey
throw
Uso
him to an
now.
actual shark.
And who does
Yeah.
Jey Uso have? Jey Uso has Sammy, Randy, KO,
I mean, I guess.
Cody. Like, even though
eh,
I know not necessarily now, but that's who
He
Jay
would-
has, right?
well, I mean, at Bad Blood, he probably would. On a normal basis, no, because
Right.
Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, and Cody Rhodes. Did I say Cody Rhodes twice there?
They're all smacked up.
They're all on a different show.
But every show is going like this.
Only the
Certain points.
PLEs cross.
Okay, well, I don't see that yet.
Except for the weird thing where Randy Orton went after the one
Yeah.
title. That was really weird.
When he was on Raw for
Okay,
like
so
3
then
weeks.
at the end of the segment, Rhea goes, "Oh, I lied," and then headbutts Liv.
That was great.
Right, and puts Liv on her ass and gets out of there.
That was great. But I'm ready for this whole mommy and Dominic beef to be over. I'm honestly over.
I think they're gonna milk it as
I'm
long
so
as they
over
can.
the Judgment.
The
Day.
real build is to where
So
Rhea.
over these people, man. Walk around looking like these little emo thugs and stuff. Finn Balor, like.
That's
Don't get me
okay.
wrong, he's doing some of the greatest work. It's great. But like, man, I want to see this unit come back. Like, where's that at?
Oh, see, you don't even know good Finn Balor from when he was in New Japan and all over the rest of the world when he was Prince Devitt.
Yeah.
Well,
That was his best stuff. Bullet
Prince.
Club Prince Devitt. Bullet Club Prince Devitt, that was the best.
Well, he needs to bring the demon back. So
something's
I think
gonna
the
happen.
Demon
something
is coming
needs to
back.
happen. I hope someone breaks his heart and makes it
He's
back.
going to have to get away from the Judgment Day. It's going to have to be after the ascension of the Judgment Day when he goes back to fight on his own.
Well, maybe Rhea will whoop Liv without the Judgment Day or whatever help, blah blah. And then maybe the Judgment Day will
Where's the fun
just-
in that? Where's the fun in
Maybe the Judgment Day will disperse and
That-
Finn Balor will go where he
No, that's-
needs to go, and
that's-
JD
no.
McDonough will go where he needs to go.
Oh,
Because
JD's a lot better than everybody gives him credit
He's
for.
a lot better than when I first
that?
fucking started watching him.
That dude's got the biggest head in the world.
He is a little
does.
man with
Evil-
a lot of
evil lie.
unnecessary attitude.
Yeah,
Got
but you
more
watched
head
than
NXT
he got
and
body.
NXT UK, he was amazing.
I did watch him with that, so I don't know. So I'm just judging on what I see.
You know, I mean, he's
He
amazing.
looks like Charlie Brown. Yeah, so damn big.
NXT, he had this psychotic character where he was just like a mental case, and he was just so good. I mean, I'm really bummed
I mean,
by his main roster call up because his NXT UK and his NXT America run were so good. But when you put him on the main roster with all the monsters, he just doesn't look like all of them. He's way smaller.
He's way smaller and he's a bitch baby, just
And
like
he
the
has-
rest
and
of
he
them.
Well, that's his character.
I understand that's a
And he
character.
has no shoulders.
I'm not necessarily talking about
Shoulders
physically.
and big head.
Okay,
But
Alright.
he's a great wrestler.
Okay, so after
I can't do that. So
I
Yeah.
can't fucking do it.
he's very talented.
I mean, he's great.
Okay, so after the segment with Rhea and Liv and Dom ends, we get a recap of Gunther from last week, where he pretty much denies Sammy his match.
Okay.
Yeah.
again for the second time. So now,
Poor Sammy. Whiny ass Sammy. I love Sami Zayn, but that man whines
Yeah,
so
please
much.
I like Sami Zayn, but
It's
I
just
think
like,
he's
shut
just because.
up, bro.
But
Stop
I think I don't. I mean, I do agree that he whines a little bit, but I think that
all
he.
the time.
I
All
lost
the
my train of
time.
thought.
oh, okay, thanks.
It's 'cause it's late. I'm working.
Yeah.
Okay, so we get the recap. Gunther denies Sami Zayn for a second week in a row. But this week, Sami Zayn has a particularly stellar fight against Ludwig Kaiser.
Yeah.
And
I thought that Ludwig and when Gunther came out.
I like Ludwig.
Ludwig is another underappreciated guy. I mean, he gets a lot of attention because he's with Gunther and stuff like that. But he should be his own singles competitor.
I mean, that's what they're doing now.
That's what I thought. I thought that Ludwig was gonna turn on Gunther
Oh,
when
God.
Sammy was it, but he ended up fucking laying out Sammy.
Yeah, he wasn't gonna turn on Gunther for Sammy.
Not
Not
yet.
in 1 second. Not 1 second.
Not
I
yet.
don't think it's gonna happen at all.
No,
It depends on what happens with this fucking
It doesn't
this
matter.
title match.
Ludwig could never beat
No?
Gunther, so.
Yeah.
Okay, so after an extremely amazing match, Gunther does come out and says some stuff and still denies. He says, "You want to have a match right here? It would be a
No.
perfect place to do it." Blah 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 blah, and then still
Sam's
denies
like,
them again.
yeah. No.
Right. So
Not funny.
right. So Sammy wins the match against Ludwig, and then we cut to a New Day segment with Woods and Kofi. Right.
Yeah, they're gonna break up.
I
Well,
don't
that's
know
what
if that's
they're
necessarily
leaning-
the case. I think that's where they're leaning towards. But with the 10-year anniversary coming up, I feel like they're going to bring Big E back into an on-camera role
Yeah.
where he's the one that saves the New Day from breaking up.
I don't think that's what happened.
Okay, but in the segment,
He needs to get a singles title. Xavier Woods needs to be a singles wrestler. That's the whole reason this is all happening. Big E and Kofi are both former WWE World Champions.
All right then.
Xavier Woods has not accomplished anything other than being one of the greatest tag teams.
Well, I don't see that because I don't follow those guys too much, but I do see like the
Well,
breakup
I've been
happening.
following him
And,
for what, 11 years?
yeah. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Or almost 10 years, right? 10 years they've been around. DJ.
yeah, their 10-year anniversary is coming up at around
Yeah, so
Survivor Series.
I mean, I love New Day, but I agree. Xavier Woods needs to go do his own thing, and then one day the New Day come back together after they all, go about their business. And in my opinion, the New Day kind of, it's lacking without Big E. Can't you feel the power?
I know that was a huge thing.
Like, now it's.
So in the segment,
I miss the Bootios, dog. I mean, like,
did you see that actually goes along in the
like
segment?
no more pancake throwing? Like, what's up?
Like in the segment, they start talking about how they need to get back, to this and that. So Kofi comes out with the unicorn horns, the box of Bootios,
Like, where's the trumpet? Where's that at?
and Francesca. He came back out with all of that stuff for this segment, and he says, "Look, I got all this stuff, that made us popular, that made us famous." And Woods goes on to tell him, "Hey, man, that might have been cool while we were on top, but we're not on top. We're not doing that. We're not there right at the moment, and there's no need for us to go like backwards into those gimmicks." And then, of course, they agree, and Woods is like, "I want to be the quarterback. Let me call the shot. Let me do this." And so for later on in the match,
He's a little on edge, man. And
So then-
he hasn't been eating his Bootios, obviously.
so then they go ahead with it, and they hug, and right behind Xavier Woods' back, the guy comes out with a plate of pancakes, and Kofi is like, no, because of the whole conversation that just happened.
Because Liv was a bitch baby. Because they're all Judgment Day is all a bunch of bitch babies. Because they can play dirty, but they can't take the dirty play. Like,
well, it was Liv and Dom bitching about Dom having to be in a shark cage, and Pierce saying, "No,
and
guess what?
Rhea
You're in a shark
knocking
cage."
the ever-loving block off of fucking Liv, and she's like, "Oh, aren't you gonna do something about this? Get
They
the
should have
fuck
just
out!"
made it a steel cage match. That would have been a lot better.
Or like a Hell in a Cell, like a women's Hell in a Cell. Okay, so then the rest of the Judgment Day comes in, and Pierce runs off. Judgment Day walks away, but runs into Ilya Dragunov,
That boy's sick.
who has some things to say
That little Russian dragon's sick.
Yeah, he's pretty badass.
Yeah.
who has some things to say to J.D. McDonough about J.D. McDonough is not going to do anything. But of course, J.D. McDonough deflects. He says, "We got Judgment Day business to handle."
Flex. J.D. McDonough needs
We'll
to
think-
deflate.
We'll think about that later.
Tom, you need to go be friends with Tom Brady. He can deflate that.
Oh my god.
Okay, because
He got
next
that big old head.
is the Carlito match with Dragon Lee. So that match held up pretty well.
Who cares?
Had a bunch of people come in and out. LWO, Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
Dragon Lee picks up the win over Carlito.
Bro, who cares? Doesn't matter.
Well,
They're
we
just
go
there
to
to be
Judgment Day
there.
too, and they're
I mean,
just there to fill it.
Dragon Lee's sick, but like, you know.
It was just weird. Like, they haven't used him in a while, and he's kind of been like off camera. And then this week they. Oh wait, we forgot that we had this toy to play with. Why are we not using
And
him?
then they push
They
him a
should
couple
be
times.
using him all the time.
Dragon Lee.
Guy's sick.
Okay.
He's like a blend between Ultimo Dragon and Rey Mysterio. I'm like,
He's good.
Yeah, he's real good.
He is good. I
They're
think
pushing
they
him.
should give him a good push.
They are pushing him.
love
That's,
him.
So Dragon Lee beats Carlito.
What WWE needs to do is bring up the cruiserweight title.
I think they tried that just a few years back with the Cruiserweight Classics and all the
Oh,
people
yeah.
that are still on the roster, like Tozawa,
Yeah.
Cedric Alexander, all the guys that were in the Cruiserweight division, and it just didn't go nowhere. They had their own 205 Live
I
show,
remember that. I remember.
and I just don't think it was popular
It's just
enough.
not like it's not like the WWE time period with the cruiserweight title.
I
Bro, that
know.
was those battles were intense, bro. Back in the day, Boogie T. Guerrero,
They were good stuff. That was when
Billy
WCW had the
Kidman.
Cruiserweight.
Billy Kidman,
Yeah.
Shooting Star Press.
Our next segment is The Miz backstage with Karrion Kross. And Karrion Kross is talking to him about the Braun and Bronson Reed stuff. And, you know,
About
Miz
being
is
a monster.
talking about stuff. And, yeah, Kross, it ends up with Kross saying,
I thought
monsters
Kross-
come in all different
Yeah, I
sizes.
thought Cross was on SmackDown.
I don't know. I don't necessarily know which show the Final Testament is on because they've been so hit and miss in between.
Elusive.
I don't like Karrion Kross.
I do. I loved him when he was Killer Kross on the Indies. I when he was the Impact champion and all the stuff he did in Impact
I mean-
Wrestling. I loved all of that.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not feeling it.
The Karrion Kross character was
Yeah,
good
he-
when it was in NXT. Triple H made him a big something, but when Vince pulled him up to the main roster the first time, he gave him all this crazy shit, the Roman,
Yeah.
like the Roman helmet, and he came out dressed like a Roman warrior, and I think that really killed him. I think they're trying to build him back up into a threat, but he still has to recover from all of that, and that's something. So Kross sends Miz away with, you know, monsters come in all sizes, and Miz says, yes, they do. And Miz goes out to the ring to get ready for his match with Bronson Reed. But then
all hell breaks loose.
we get a Sheamus segment, right, where Sheamus talks about Butch, the Pete Dunne,
But
calls him Butch. Okay?
He's calling him Butch because he don't fucking like it. Pete Dunne is gonna whoop his ass, even though he's tiny. And that's what you guys were talking. That's what you guys were talking about before, the cruiserweight.
Well, he's
Was it Pete Dunne cruiserweight?
he's right on the cusp. He's the 205 Okay, so you got the Sheamus where he sells out to Butch.
Well,
Okay.
you can only provoke somebody so long, especially a little guy. So.
Okay, and then we go to the ring for the Miz gets his entrance to face Bronson Reed. And
then that's when it all goes down.
Braun comes in before the bell on Bronson's entrance. Bronson's almost to the ring. Braun Strowman comes out of nowhere, and they just start destroying the crap out of each other. And if you even remember in the beginning of the show, it opened with them fighting, making it look like they were still fighting from last week when they destroyed the whole set and everything.
Right, and
Right.
then they continue to destroy.
Right, so
destroy the whole set.
all the security comes out, and it's like they have a competition who can beat up the most security guys.
Right.
Bronson slams two of the guys, or does something to two of them, and then Braun Strowman choke slams two of them at a time, and they just seem to have this competition.
Power competition.
Yeah,
Yes.
to who could take out the most of the security guards, and I mean, it was just a big mess. But more of this. Don't ever actually let them, like, I know next week they're doing the last monster standing match,
Yeah.
but just never let it get there. Never let the match start. Just let them keep beating the crap out of each other
That's
before
what
the
everybody wants to see.
Just, yeah.
Bro, when he jumped on Braun Strowman
On the car.
bro, I felt that. I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like Bronson.
It was crazy.
Bronson Reed.
You seen the glass
That
blow out from the
monster,
car, and
bro.
I think that was
Such a
genuine. I don't think that was like,
I mean, that's a lot of weight. Like,
330 pounds.
on top of
They did-
Braun.
They-
on top of
They did a
like
whole
both of them.
They did a whole scientific breakdown of what it's like.
Oh,
The
yeah.
velocity of him dropping on
the velocity, the mass, the weight, and
Yeah.
everything, and the amount of times he did it 6 times, it's almost the equal
It's
capacity
crazy.
of having an elephant land on top. of it.
Yeah, I would
It's like,
believe it.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, I would believe it. Absolutely.
All right.
Monster.
So-
Beast.
He is, and that's a
Yeah.
crazy feud that I hope never ends. I really do.
I want to see
If they
Braun
were
break
smart,
away.
they'll just let them keep just beating each other
Yeah.
up and throwing each other through the
I wanna-
walls
It's
and
like
shit.
Godzilla versus King Kong.
And
I
just
love it.
just let them go behind the scenes
Like,
and shit, and
it's
just let them keep
so
going.
crazy. Like
They're just fucking shit up.
over 700 pounds worth of men.
Okay, our next segment.
Hey.
Bump the wire makes a lot of noise.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, don't do that.
So our next segment is a recap of CM Punk's promo from last week.
I'm so over the CM Punk Drew McIntyre.
I am, but I
Well,
really.
this is going to come to an end at Bad Blood because
One
Yeah,
of
I
them's
was
gonna bleed. One of them's gonna fucking bleed. Like, they're both gonna bleed, and they're both gonna be
Drew
like.
McIntyre just reminds me of a whiny bitch.
He is such a bitch, baby. I agree. I don't want to hear his mouth no more.
Like,
I hope fucking CM Punk just fucking
But the thing
destroys
is
him.
he's justified. He's
But they just
sympathetically
go-
unjustified.
He is injustified. Yes, I would agree. Yes,
well, if
he is. I agree.
If he never would have been sitting there obsessed with him, he wouldn't be at this point.
I mean, it's weird.
Drew McIntyre started it, not CM Punk.
Okay, so after the recap from CM Punk's promo last week, we get an in-ring promo from Drew where he accepts the challenge and he pretty much goes over what CM Punk says and says, you know, he's ready to die too and whatever. And he
Just
accepts the
reiterated
challenge and just-
everything
My
that Punk
family
said.
can't stop me from having this match.
Everything that Punk
Your
said.
They're not
family
gonna
doesn't want
stop
me to
us,
have it.
guys.
Your
My family doesn't want me to have it.
Your girlfriend or your wifey and your dog.
I got on this bracelet.
Boo hoo hoo.
Well, the bracelet's broken now. So.
Yeah, well, yeah,
It's-
but
It's a
It's
symbol of him breaking CM Punk.
you know, like either one of them's gonna make it, and I hope it's CM Punk. I really don't like Drew McIntyre. I think he's a whiny ass bitch
CM
baby.
Punk's gonna win it.
I do. That's just what I think.
I hope it's a good Hell in a Cell match. I hope
It's gotta be.
It's gotta be.
It's gotta
I mean,
be.
the way they're talking about blood, how long has WWE banned blood? And now
Right?
they're
Yeah,
talking
it should
about
be a
blood,
one.
right?
It's not gonna happen.
Awesome. Shout out to Von Tainment giving us a bunch of hearts.
yeah. Yeah.
So after the Drew promo,
Yeah.
yeah. after the Drew promo, we go back to Adam Pearce backstage where he's talking to the interviewer. I can't think of her name at the moment. And there's a bunch of commotion, and Pete Dunne is beating up Sheamus with a cricket bat
Well,
in the back. And he
Yeah.
at
hits,
least it wasn't the fucking shillelagh this time, because they keep passing it back
Well,
and
because
forth.
that makes it feel much better.
No. No. No.
Okay, so
I much rather not take either of those to my back.
No, me neither.
next is a match, a women's tag team match, the Unholy Union versus Damage Control.
Yeah, Io and Kyrie, baby.
Io and Kyrie.
Yeah, and they took that shit.
The Unholy Union?
Isla Dawn and Alba Fire.
Oh,
I do
Yeah.
not like them. I think they are.
the fire chick, she's hot. The redhead? Oh, she's so hot.
Yeah, I think you the one with the deep red or like the
The
ginger red.
the
The
ginger.
ginger red.
That's
Yeah.
Isla Dawn.
Yeah, she's
Isla
hot.
Dawn.
She
No.
is so
So
hot.
hot. So
You,
hot.
you guys can have her because I don't
I
want it.
would. I gladly would. She is so damn hot. This
Come
is
on.
no.
And then
Anyway, no. Both those bitches, they're not all that cracked up to be. They
No,
might
I-
have like a little bit of leg and a little bit of booty, but
that's a good thing.
I don't
Their
know. I don't
face
think
now.
Alba Fire has anything. She's very
She's thick.
Alba Fire, the thin red.
this
Oh,
is
that's
where
the
we
thin
put the
one,
fucking
right?
Thin
flash
one.
up
Yeah,
their
no,
asses.
she's not. She looks like
Like a
Scary
flash-
Spice.
Oh my
Well,
gosh.
not Scary Spice. What's the name? Sporty Spice. That's
There-
what she looked like.
Yeah, yeah.
Sporty
I'm not
Spice.
talking to you. There is a very
You got Sporty Spice and then you got Wendy's.
no.
Mascot.
There's a bartender that's been floating around here for a couple of years, and that's who she reminds me of. And I really don't like that bitch. So yeah, so I associate that with that. So yeah.
Oh,
All right, so Damage Control wins, and Unholy
Yes.
Union just had the tag titles not that long ago.
But they keep losing.
And they
them.
haven't won since they. I don't think they've won since they lost them.
You stop it.
they suck. Damage Control.
They can take it all.
I loved it. Yo,
This is all
Kyrie
personal.
Sane, she's also hot.
Carrie Sane is beautiful.
Whoa.
Io Sky is
Io
beautiful.
Sky,
Oh,
Asuka, all the
Asuka
damage,
is
all the Damage
gorgeous.
Control girls are good.
The only one I know.
Yes,
What's the
Dakota Kai.
Yeah.
because she's not fucking.
So you listen to her talk.
Because Dakota Kai is fucking what? English or
Australian, I
She's
think.
actually-
Australian?
She's actually Samoan.
is she?
No.
Yeah. Swear to God.
Is she?
Swear to God. It's all.
Well,
I
she
saw
could
her
be-
talking about it.
She could have a little bit better attitude then, because she's supposed to be like
But
aloha.
her knees are with the knee problem.
Yeah,
I don't
she
know what
keeps
that
getting- She
means.
keeps getting injured.
So I thought knees were supposed to be like a vanity problem. Like, what is wrong with knees now?
No, she just keeps getting injured. She's been
Jesus
she's
Christ.
been injury prone.
I wonder when
since
Oscar's
she's
gonna
been
come
in
back. That's what
I
I'm
wonder
saying.
when Asuka's coming back.
I love Asuka.
She's like one of my faves. Absolutely.
The Empress of
Absolutely.
Tomorrow. That's such a badass name. So badass.
Okay, so
Yeah.
after the Unholy Union and Damage Control match, we get a recap of the Braun and Jay feud.
Oh,
And
that
then
was
we
great.
go immediately into a Braun segment where he tells Jay that you're not going to win. You're not going to be the one to beat me.
Right.
And all
But
that
he
happens.
was.
I'm
Well,
gonna
I
beat
mean,
your ass.
We're not there. We're not quite there yet.
Sorry,
we got
sorry,
a little
sorry.
bit more to go before we get there.
Sorry.
We get a recap of the Roman Cody thing at the Atlanta or at the Georgia Tech thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the
the
football
stadium.
field.
So we got a whole
Yes.
nother replay of that segment, where we go into
Such a good segment.
the New Day American Made match, where
Oh.
American
You're in my
made-
way.
yeah,
You're in the way of my life.
in my way in life, yeah.
With the gangster walk off the field. I was like, oh my god, this is so good. The Levesque era of wrestling is shit. Wrestling is cool again.
Vincenzo Figueroa.
Okay, so New Day goes in. They get their introduction to their match, and then you get the Jay and Sammy segment where Sammy says, that Intercontinental Championship meant a lot to me during the time I hold it. Now it's time to make it yours. And then go into their weird ass hand clap
Because
thing.
they're friends, which is a good thing. Go on.
Right. So then American Made gets their intro, and you actually have the New Day American Made match where American Made comes out after a whole bunch of nonsense during the match with interruptions and stuff like that. American Made picks up the win, and once again Xavier Woods is none the happier for it.
No, he wasn't. He should have fucking lost it. American Made is fucking bullshit anyway. I mean, the Creed brothers are alright. Maybe Ivy Niles alright. That's fine. But
Ivy Niles is another one. Boy.
She's a baddie.
She's a baddie, but I'm not seeing her fight. I'm not seeing her fucking
Wrestle.
in
Still
matches.
kinda green. Yeah.
I'm not seeing her win matches. I'm seeing her fucking post up next to the Creed brothers and fucking stupid ass Chad Gable, that narcissistic asshole. Like fuck him.
Short man syndrome.
Definitely.
Yeah, but I think he has the potential to be a lot like
Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle.
He
Okay,
does.
great. I know who Kurt Angle is, but I don't know his career or whatever. But Chad Gable's
medalist.
his
You hear
attitude
that?
And he did it with a
is
freaking
of
broken neck.
Yeah.
He's just like no, big no, gross.
Well, I mean, that's how you're supposed to feel about him.
No, I know, and he plays the character well, and I don't like him at all.
Okay, so from there we go into a pre-recorded Damian Priest promo, where of course he's talking about
Blah blah.
all of the nonsense that he has going on with Finn Balor and stuff.
So over this judgment day shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so from there we go into a Pure Fusion Collective promo where they
I hate
keep
the
trying
name.
to tell the world who they are, but they can't win a freaking match
They
to
can't
save
win.
their life.
And I don't understand why they can't win. They
We are-
should be able to win, but
I
because
know.
their name sucks. I think that's what it is.
Because they do have a stacked roster with Zoe Stark, Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have another name for him, but I don't think I should say it on live.
Maybe tell us later.
I can't.
Unless you want to
You know what-
say it.
I can't wait for it to go. I can't wait for Monday Night Raw to go.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot more fun. It's gonna be kind of like.
Uh-uh.
But I've heard online they should have called themselves. You remember the Ministry of Darkness? So it should have been the Ministry of Starkness because of Zoe Stark.
Maybe. I don't know. I just think they're being pushed around.
So what happened in the New Day match with American Made is that the LWO had come out and Xavier
Help
was
New Day.
right.
Right.
So now you get the LWO New Day segment backstage where everybody's upset, and I think next week it's
Xavier Woods and
Rey Mysterio.
yeah,
That's
gonna
what
be
came
dope.
after that. So next up is your main event. You get Jey Uso's main hall entrance through the crowd. He comes down to the ring, and we cut to commercial. When we come back from commercial, you get the promo for the last Monster Standing match next week. Okay, Braun Breaker makes his entrance. You get the in-ring introduction for the Intercontinental Championship match between Braun and Jey. These guys go back and forth. What a brutal match. All the near falls, all the kickouts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
intense.
a really good match.
I mean,
It was really good.
crazy incredible. All the spears, all the finish moves, all the
Back and
splashes.
forth, back and
It
I
was,
mean,
it was intense. It was an awesome match.
It really
Yeah.
was until
Crowd was
finally,
going, this is awesome.
right?
This is awesome. It's good. It's good.
Until finally, Jey pulls out the victory.
Bro, he
Hits a
steered,
couple of spears,
he hit him through the
And
freaking
then Usos
guardrail.
lost it.
put him in the
Threw
ring,
him back in the
speared
ring,
him again.
speared him again, and then splashed him in.
Right.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Yeah,
Done.
yeah, that's what I'm
And
saying.
There were no dogs barking that night.
And Raw goes off air, right? Raw goes off air with Jey making his exit through the crowd, and all the crowds around him, and you got all these pyrotechnics going off for Jey
Over here.
winning the match,
And nobody can
way
see him
on the
because
entrance
he's
ramp.
going this way.
And he's going
and you
that
don't
way.
Yeah.
don't even see the pyrotechnics.
Yeah,
'cause
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
going
he
this way. All of that shit's happening this
Got him
way.
once a bit.
And they're and
He's
he's
from
you see the copyright code, and Raw goes off air.
Right. And then what happened after that?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
I didn't watch anything after the show, so I wouldn't.
The Anonymous was on.
Well, Anonymous is on.
So that wraps up Raw. Okay. So
We've been talking
Yeah.
for quite some time.
What?
See SmackDown,
no, we can run through SmackDown. SmackDown's
All right,
good.
run through it then. Hurry up.
Okay, so SmackDown starts off with the Randy Orton cold open. Randy Orton comes to the ring. Cody ends up coming out and starts to say stuff to Randy about how Randy feels about Cody teaming up with Roman, and Randy Orton says, you know, it won't be a problem as long as you don't make it a problem.
And then
of
KO
course,
comes
KO comes out.
and KO's like, "Fuck you, dude. You suck."
How
Why
dare
are you
How
teaming
dare
with-
you tag with
Why
them?
are you teaming with fucking Roman Reigns? So he's all pissed off.
Before
And
he
then-
can get out too much, the
Oh,
bloodline then comes down to the ring, setting up the night's main event because Kevin Owens challenges Jacob Fatu
After he said,
and
"No,
Solo
Cody.
Sikoa
No, Cody. You already
to a
got
match
it."
with him and Randy,
Right.
and Cody does speak up and says, "Hey, we don't even have to stop at a tag team. We can make it a six-man." And Kevin Owens shuts him down.
No.
You got your own tag team match to worry
Yeah,
about.
you worry about this, and then
Right.
the fucking locker room thing. And
Well,
he's
that's
like, we
that's
don't need
later
to
in the
talk.
night, but yeah.
Go on.
They gave each other a hug at the end of the night. That's all.
Okay, so next we get the Naomi Bailey recap. For what's happening before the match, we also get a Nia and Tiffany segment where Nia kind of
Act like
threatens, like she acts like a bitch, a big narcissist. She tells
She absolutely does.
she tells Tiffany that if anything bad happens to me, something really, really, really bad is gonna happen to you. And then of course we go into the Bailey.
No, I mean, we all know Tiffany's going to catch it in on that, right?
She's got Miss
Eventually,
Money in the bank.
that's
so
what they're building to.
I would say it's taking enough time.
With all the animosity and anger that they're building between her.
And Nia Jax
until
seems to
she
be
just
fucking
snaps.
put down in her fucking place.
Right.
anyways.
But I think Tiffany Stratton is definitely the next champion.
Tiffany Stratton is gorgeous.
Good-looking
I
girl.
am in love with that girl.
She's alright. I think she's a barbie.
I think
Anyways,
she's a little fake. Like, I feel like she's a
She's
little
all
plastic,
that.
but I don't know that.
I feel like she's all natural. She got nice booty, but it's not like an overly absurd BBL kind of, you know. thing.
I think all the girls that actually have booties in the WWE and all the fucking factions have their booties because they work for their
Yeah.
booties. I don't think any of them have like
They
extra
absolutely
help.
do. Yeah,
They might
Bailey's
have-
got a big butt, dude.
Bailey's a thick ass
She's got a
girl.
big butt.
Yeah,
Bailey's
she
a
get the brother's head turning. I tell you that.
Anyways, go on with your.
So that goes into Naomi versus Bailey, which is exactly what you would expect from Bailey and Naomi. Naomi doesn't look fantastic. Bailey pulls her into what could be considered a decent match.
I would agree.
Naomi's never been hot to me. She's never been like a good wrestler. She's had
She sucks.
spots where she was a champion.
She's
She's just
she
not
gets
good.
a little bit better. Like she's way
I mean,
better than like last year.
I mean, as a
Yeah, but
we're
if you know
judging
her history,
wrestlers.
that's not saying much. She's been in the game for
We're
like
judging,
12 years.
yeah, we're judging wrestlers. She sucks, but like
She's not
I
good.
couldn't, you know, I know a lot of girls who can't do what she does. But
Right.
when you're doing it on the like she's.
So
like,
Bailey
her
does that.
best part about her is her entrance.
Yeah,
Which I
Her glow
it's
party.
stupid. Yeah, I don't like the glow
cannot-
entrance. I don't
I
like the
think
glow
she
gimmick.
needs
I
to
don't like nothing
go.
about it.
I think she needs another gimmick. But wasn't Bailey and Naomi just like tag team partners like not that long ago?
I mean, they've been friends and stuff, and this whole thing was like a friendly thing because they both pinned Nia last week. So in order to figure out who was going to be the one to face Nia, they had to have this one-on-one.
And it has to be Bailey. So
Right.
Bailey
Well,
fucking
that's
pinned
because
Naomi, and then they want to try to make some like stupid ass beef about it behind the stage, and Naomi's
Well,
like, oh well, I would have
just
just the
playing
same.
and stuff. Yeah. And,
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
But there was one spot in the match where Bailey that put powerbomb into the corner, and it was just off. And I just feel like trying to do that move with somebody who's as
More experience.
well. I mean, no, because
less
technically
experience?
Naomi has a bunch of experience. She's
Yeah.
just never been that talented, if you ask me, in my opinion.
I agree.
So, but Bailey ends up winning the match and goes on. Later on in the night, I guess we can go over that now. They do meet backstage. Naomi, Bailey goes over to Naomi and, tries to say, hey, good match and stuff. And in the beginning, Naomi seems like she's frustrated, but then she pulls back and,
I would have felt the same way, babe. So yeah, good
Right.
game. Right.
And then
Yeah.
Tiffany eventually enters, and that sets up a week for a match for next week between Tiffany and Naomi on the Friday Night SmackDown before Bad Blood.
Wonder how that's gonna turn out.
Okay, we get a whole LA Knight and
Yeah.
an LA Knight recap
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
Andrade segment where they're talking backstage.
they-
Carmelo jumps LA Knight.
They had the potential to have a great feud.
Yeah,
I like Andrade a lot.
Andrade is good.
And Carmelo hates him so too, but
He's just not as big as the rest of the wrestlers. I feel like it's really crazy to make him.
So would he be a cruiserweight then?
yeah,
Probably.
absolutely.
I don't know exactly what he weighs, but I would say so.
I'm just asking
Like,
because of the sizes.
205, 210.
Yeah, probably something close to that. All right, so then following the spot where LA Knight gets jumped backstage by Carmelo while he's talking to Andrade, we get Carmelo and Andrade number 6. Okay, which seemed to be a pretty good match going the right way until LA Knight comes out towards out the end of the match and costs Andrade it. And Mello wins with a cheap roll up. Knight gets in the ring. Him and Andrade have some beef.
But they say fans, don't they?
No, they end that segment with them two kind of yelling at each
Oh,
other.
yeah.
So.
I
Alright,
think I missed
And that's
that
right.
one.
Then Andrade got out of the ring and walked away.
so
Yeah.
Unless wasn't LA like trying to give him a fucking handshake and then Andrade just like passed him by and went
I don't
under the
remember.
ropes and gone?
That might have been a previous week
Yeah,
too.
I
I
think
don't
that
know.
was the week before.
I don't remember that. But anyways, go on.
Okay, so we get a recap from earlier in the night where RKO and Kevin Owens set up the main event, all the stuff that happened in the ring.
You don't get to fucking look at your phone. Nobody else has. Go on.
So they recap what happened earlier in the night, and then they go into the segment. They go into the segment where Kevin Owens and Randy are talking in the locker room. Cody comes up, and Kevin Owens kind of shuts him down again and says, Cody, we don't need you, stay back. But then Randy says, hey, dude, we know how things go with the bloodline. If we need you, I would appreciate you coming in and giving us your help.
Right. Which that is in turn what happened.
Exactly. But with the bloodline, you're fighting all of them, not one of them.
Right. Every single time. And that's what happens with Judgment Day too.
So directly after that, we see Michin heading to the ring for her match with Piper Niven.
Who cares?
Okay, so
Who
this
cares?
I
Michin
literally
keeps-
fast forward that match on my
But
TV,
who cares? But Michin keeps taking it, so they're giving her a push.
Michin deserves a push. She's really talented. I watched her in Impact. I've watched her on the Indies. I watched her first time in WWE. She has a lot more talent than WWE gives her credit for. And I think now that she has kind of lost some weight and thinned out and has become more of the type of woman in physical conditions that WWE goes for, I think she'll see a lot more action. Now, this match is ahead of the dumpster match next week with Chelsea Green.
Which is Piper Niven's fucking partner.
Right. Michin ends up taking the match. with a neat defeat while Piper Niven is stuck between the ropes.
Well, who the hell do you think is gonna win between Meechin and fucking Chelsea Green? Meechin.
I think.
Chelsea can't wrestle.
Yeah,
she
but
can, but they don't
no,
let
she's
her.
a lot better than WWE lets her on too. If
Yeah.
you've never
She
seen her
can.
on
I've
the
seen
Indies,
her-
she can wrestle.
I've seen her on NXT and the other.
It's
like,
just she plays this character.
No, I understand, but Meechin's gonna win
That's her
that.
gimmick.
That is her
Just to
gimmick.
be annoying.
Yes.
Did you see her take that big dump, that big bump through the tables at the Money in the Bank?
Oh, bro,
Man, that
that
was
was
so
brutal.
brutal.
Brutal. That
Okay,
one, that
so-
one hurt me. I was like, dang.
Next, we get a promotion for AJ Styles' return next
I did
week.
not see that. What? For real?
Yep, AJ
Yeah.
Styles is returning to the house that AJ Styles built Friday Night SmackDown next week. Okay.
Well, wasn't he in like New Japan or something for a while?
Yeah, he was the one who took the Bullet Club after Prince Devitt, Finn
No,
Balor
no, I'm
left.
talking about recently. He was wrestling overseas. That's why he hasn't
I think he was wrestling when WWE did their Japanese tour, but he's making his television re-debut. He's coming back to television. He's not been injured or anything. WWE just hasn't used him. That was confirmed by news sites. I don't remember which ones. So then we get a promotion for the Triple Threat Tag Team Ladder match next week between the Bloodline, Street Profits, and DIY. They go through their little thing, and each team talks about what it means to be in a Triple Threat Tag Team Ladder
Which
match.
Bloodline's gonna take
With-
that one?
Yeah, and I mean the Bloodline, I feel, just has to win.
Yeah,
I would say.
absolutely.
I would say.
Okay, and then we get another promo that says Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill talking about how they're going to be the hosts of Bad Blood. So that means they're probably not having a match. They're not going to defend their titles. They're just going to be there as the people who say, "Hey, welcome to Bad Blood," and then you
Right.
probably don't see them for the rest of the night again.
Unless
much.
Damage Control
Mm-hmm.
wants to like run up on them.
Okay, so now that was followed by that Bailey and Naomi backstage segment that we already talked about. Right. Okay, so now we get our main event introductions. Kevin Owens comes out first. RKO comes out after that. Now the Bloodline comes out to Solo's music.
Which they always come out to.
No, they have their own music.
Everybody has their own music, but I guess Solo was in the match. It was Solo and Jacob too.
That's
So
how they
maybe,
all came out to his music.
right?
Yeah.
So you get the main event match, Kevin Owens and RKO. They have a pretty good match going until the Tongans interrupt.
Back and
Tongans
forth.
come out,
Yes.
all right, and then
Yeah,
Cody,
Rhodes
and then
comes
Cody
out.
does come out to kind of
Because
help.
they came
Whoa.
out.
Right.
Because Randy asked them, and
Yeah.
KO got pissed.
Right. So Cody comes out to try to
Right.
run interference for the interference that the Tongans came out to run. So in all of the chaos, Kevin Owens stuns was it Solo?
I think it was
Yeah.
Solo. And
Yeah.
then
Kevin
yes.
Owens stuns Solo and has him pinned,
Pin,
but one of the Tongans
2, 3.
well, no, the referee didn't even get to count because one of the Tongans had thrown Cody into the
referee.
ring and into the ref.
No, I
So-
know.
So Kevin Owens is there with the pin with nobody to count, and now he's upset because Cody's in the match, and of course, all the distraction
Yeah.
allowed Solo to get the win.
Got him back kicked in the face twice.
Right. So
And then,
KO ends up losing the match.
then they were mad, and
Well, KO had to, Randy had to get between KO and Cody because Kevin was mad that Cody came out, and Randy's like, "Oh, well, I told him,
Yeah,
and
I told
asked
him
him
to
come
to," and they didn't understand, and I thought they were gonna like.
I mean, it
go
ends
for
up
it.
Kevin Owens gave Cody a hug.
Right. That's what that's what pretty much. What
So
was.
I mean, in the end, I don't really understand where this thing with Kevin Owens and Cody is going.
yeah.
We'll just have to wait and see.
It seems like since Kevin Owens had the match with Cody and lost to him, he's kind of been getting more sour and more sour towards Cody. So that's probably going to result in a turn somewhere down the line.
I'm
But
assuming that
Yeah,
was
because
gonna
Cody
happen.
made him have that match. Cody made him. KO I don't
deserve
need this.
it.
I don't. Yes, and Cody still fucking won it, right? So
Yeah.
why do you think it's just natural? Am I
Cody-
wrong? I don't think I'm wrong.
Cody's the man.
He's doing well.
The
Doing
American.
very well.
American
That's
Nightmare.
pretty. All right, so closing statements, please.
Well, this was fun. We're just sitting around and bullshitting and talking. And
Well, I think we talk.
we're gonna get better at this.
Yeah, I think we have the conversation down. Like,
This is good. I
yeah,
like it. Good conversation.
yeah.
Next time we'll try to.
We're wrapping
aim
up,
for
dude. If you
earlier
can just give us
time.
like 10 minutes. Or not even 10 minutes. I said we're wrapping up. We'll be done in like 2.
Say again, Casper.
Oh. Had fun. It was a wonderful night. Thank you guys. BK Punk Wrestling. I'm your boy Casper.
I'm Casey Punk.
I'm Vince C. Punk. Thank you for coming out and hanging out with us. We, of course, BK Punk Wrestling, soon to be recognized as your #1 source for wrestling media.
Somebody sent us some
Let
hearts.
us in.
Yeah, Vontainment.
Let us in, baby.
Let us in.
We out here.
All right, you
Peace.
can sign off.